Hey, what's up guys, David here from SiteMonkey. Today I want to show you how to install HestiaCP, which is a web control panel that you can use to run multiple websites on a single server. So let's get into it. All right, so here is Hestia control panel, which is an open source web server control panel. You can think of this as like a cPanel of sorts or Plex of sorts. Yeah, and you can install this on a fresh server and run multiple websites on it, right? Yes, so in this tutorial we're going to be using Vultr here, which is a VPS service provider that you can use to run multiple servers. And now we're going to use this to install Hestia control panel. All right, yeah, so let's right now get to it. So the first thing that you want to do is to simply open an account with Vultr here and deploy a server. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to deploy one of the lowest tiers from Vultr here. So come to deploy here. Okay, yes. And then here we have different options. We have dedicated CPU, cloud GPU, shared, and bare metal. So the cheapest option that you want to use here is actually shared CPU. Okay, yeah, so since we're going to be running, small websites, definitely a shared CPU is a great option. Then you can choose the location here. You can choose multiple locations in the US. You have South Africa, you have Brazil, India, Japan, UK, Europe, and so forth. So I'm just going to choose Atlanta here, which is the first option. All right. And then, yes, now you can choose the different options that they have here. They have one virtual CPU here. You have half GB RAM, 10 GB SSD. And the bandwidth here is 0 TB, and this is actually free, but you need to have a credit card that Vultr can confirm to be able to use this, all right, to be able to use some of the free credits. So we probably want to start off with something like 5 here. Okay, this is one virtual CPU, 1 GB of RAM, 25 SSD, and 1 terabyte per month data transfer. So I think this is good for our purposes here. Yeah, so after that you can now choose to enable backups, which costs $1 per month, but I choose to disable this. Yes, I understand, because of course we don't need that at the moment. Okay, yeah, so we're going to deploy one server here, and this is going to cost us $5 per month. Great. So let's go ahead and say configure. And then here you can choose the operating system that you want your server to run on. So since we're going to be deploying Hestia control panel here, I'm looking for the various flavors that this control panel supports, but it does support Ubuntu. That's for sure. So get started here, and these are the bare minimums here. You have is at least 1 core CPU, 64-bit, okay, but the recommended is 4 cores. Should have at least 1 GB of RAM, but the recommended is 4, 10 GB storage, and then the operating system should be Debian 11 or 12 and Ubuntu 22 or 24. So this is actually what we're going to select. So we're going to go with Ubuntu 24, right? So since that's the latest. So under operating system, let's come to Ubuntu here and choose the version, which is 24.04. This is LTS. Great. Now here you can choose SSH keys if you have them, but I opt to leave this out. We're going to be just using password to SSH into this server here, to remote into this server here. If you have, if you want to configure server hostname, you can also do that from here. So since in the HestiaCP installation, which I'm going to show you very shortly, one of the requirements, one of the things that you need to configure is the hostname. So we can do this outrightly here. Okay, so maybe we can say panel.sitemonkey.com as the server hostname right here. Okay, so additional features, of course, we need at least an IPv4, a public address. This comes with a server. And yeah, I think we are ready to go. So once these bare minimums have been checked out, then you can just simply click on deploy. So it's creating the server, and it's saying server is created, and it's now deploying it. It's yes, deploying the server right here. So as it does that, let's come to HestiaCP here under install. You see the installation instructions. It says log into your server, which we are going to do. We are going to SSH into the server and then download the installation script, which we are going to do in a bit, and then check you're running as root and configure the options that you want below. Yes, so this, after downloading this script, then we're going to run the installation script. But we have various options here that we can now set up, right? And customize how our control panel is going to operate. So, for example, the default port is 8083. This is the administration port. And remember, HestiaCP is actually a port of VestaCP. If you know about VestaCP, this is it. Yes, so this project stalled at a certain point, and the community decided to fork this project here, HestiaCP, very nice control panel as well, and they created HestiaCP. So HestiaCP supports, for example, it supports more recent servers, you know, like Ubuntu 24 and 22, whereas this one stopped at Ubuntu 18, for example, right? Yeah, and it's not as feature rich as HestiaCP. So actually migrated some of my websites from VestaCP to Hestia here, and I'm going to show you some of the things that I did. Okay, so the username, this is the admin username. You can go with admin here. Language is set to English by default, but you can change that. Email, this is the admin email. I think I'll just have to go with david@sitemonkey.com. And then the hostname here is, I'm going to use this hostname that we specified for the server, which is actually now running. Shall get to that in a bit. And then also the password, this is the admin password that we are going to be using. So I'm just going to create one. Okay. Yes. For my passwords, I actually use this tool called PWGen. It's very nice. It automatically randomly creates for me very strong passwords, so you can install it on your server. It's awesome. So I'm going to yes, and I'm going to save my password somewhere. So that when the installation is done, I can easily log in. Okay, so the backend web server is Apache here, and but you can choose Nginx. Do they support it? Turns out, oh, there's no Nginx. Okay, that's interesting. Then we have PHP FPM. This is the process manager for executing PHP scripts. Then you can also even choose multi-PHP. You can choose to have multiple PHP versions installed on the same servers. So for some websites, they probably require the latest version, like 8, whereas for older websites, they require, you know, a different version. So if you have that situation, then you can choose to enable this. This is very secure FTP. This is a FTP server. I tend to go with this, although there is this option which is Pro FTP as well. Yes, then this is bind. This is a DNS server. I choose to disable this because essentially I do my DNS hosting either at Vultr here or at name.com, yeah, which is my registrar. So MariamDB versus MySQL, you can choose to go with either option. Let's go with the default, or you can go with PostgreSQL as a database. Exim, this is an email server. I tend to separate web hosting and email hosting, and I tend to have a dedicated email server installed separately. It's a whole thing in its own. So when I'm installing a control panel, for example, like this, I tend to basically disable all email functionality, right? Because email and web hosting are totally two different things, and email is very complicated. So I'm going to disable all email functionality. Exim, this is the mail server. Devcode, this is the IMAP or POP3 server for it. This is for email filtering. Clam AV, this is an antivirus. Spam Assassin is for spam, managing spam. IP tables, this is for security. It's a firewall. I recommend you leave it. Same as fail to ban, which actually uses IP tables to prevent brute force attacks via SSH, email, FTP, and databases. Yes, so this is interesting. A web terminal, maybe we should enable that. A HestiaCP, you can choose to have this. Then you can also choose to have an interactive installation. So it prompts you for some things, right? And you can customize it. So I think this is all right. And so now what we're going to do is to SSH into our server, download this script, and then now run the installation with these options. So let's see how it's going at Vultr. Here it says the server is running, which is great. Okay, so how do you then SSH into it? We're going to simply come to, we can see its IP address here, the username and the password. So let's just copy that server, and yeah, I'm going to do that. SSH root at the server IP, and now I'm going to copy the root password. Okay, so let's do that right now. Yes, let's accept the fingerprint, and let me paste the server password, root password. Okay, so copy and paste. All right. Yes, so we're in now. Okay, and as you can see, hostname, we chose panel.sitemonkey.com, but if we want a fully qualified domain name, then we can check out etc hostname, I think. Yes, so we can set the fully qualified domain here by editing this. Okay, and now we can have panel.sitemonkey.com here. Yeah, awesome. Then we can also go to etc hosts here and ensure that we have that fully qualified domain name point to the IP address. So just going to, sorry, hold on, cal IP info. Just want to get my private IP address, which is this. Okay, so let's get back to this and put the IP address, and then okay, and then have panel.sitemonkey.com. Okay, awesome. So usually this requires a reboot actually, so let's just do that quickly so that we have the host name properly set up. This is important because of course we're going to need to log into the dashboard via that. And also probably the other thing I need to mention is that we need to set that domain in our registrar here. Okay, we have to set that subdomain there. So let's do that really quick. I recommend name.com as a registrar. They have really wide collection of domains, and they are competitively priced. So let me go to SiteMonkey here, and of course they provide free email forwarding and also DNS hosting, so that's a very big plus. So let's do that. Going to go to SiteMonkey. Right here, and then I'm just going to add that domain, panel.sitemonkey.com, and point it to that IP. So panel, and point to the IP address of the server that we've just provisioned. Yeah, so it's right here. So panel.sitemonkey.com points to the newly provisioned server IP address. Okay, so let's go back, and now, yes, let me log in again with the password here. Okay, great. Yes, now we are ready to roll, I believe. So if we did Hostname, yeah, it now gives us panel.sitemonkey.com. Okay, so actually there's also another very cool command that I want to show you, which is hostname CTL. It gives a bit of more information about your server here, including the virtualization, the operating system, the kernel architecture, and so forth. So that's awesome. Yeah. So let's come here now, and let's copy this. Let me see where I am. I'm at root. That's okay. Yeah, it has downloaded it. And now let's copy this, and now let's run it. Awesome. So please wait, the installer is checking for missing dependencies. That's all right. Okay, warning, the following packages are already installed. That is UFW, that is the I think it's called Uncomplicated Firewall. That's by Ubuntu, and then Apache 2 is installed as well. It's highly recommended that you remove them before proceeding. So would you like to remove? Yes. We really need to have a fresh installation if you want this to go flawless. Yes, so just ensure that you remove all that. Yes, so thank you for downloading Hestia Control Panel. In a few minutes, we'll begin installing the following components to your server. So we have Nginx, Web, Proxy Server, Apache, PHP FPM, and then we have MariaDB, VS FTP, the web terminal, yes, and a firewall. Yeah, this is IP tables and fail to ban. Exactly the stuff that we selected here. So all these other email things and bind will not be installed. So would you like to continue with the installation? I'm definitely going to say yes. Right. So it appears the installation is actually successful now. It says you have successfully configured Hestia Control Panel on your server. This is great. Ready to get started. Here we have an admin login URL. And as you can see, it's panel.sitemonkey.com that we configured. We have a backup URL here, so this is just an IP address. We have the username here and the password that we chose at installation, which I saved somewhere else. So it says, thank you for choosing Hestia Control Panel to power your full stack web server. Yeah. So documentation is right here, the forums, if you have issues, it's right there, and of course the code base is also right there. Okay, so let's see, the system will now reboot to complete the installation process. Press any key to continue, that's fine. So now we can just go back here to Vultr and look at the state of our server. See what's happening. It's saying it's running. Let me refresh and see. Yeah, so yeah, okay, so let's try to access the web interface and see if it is actually available now. Okay, I think it's not yet back. Okay, so I can also just try to ping let's see if it is back online. Monkey.com. Okay, so the server is back, so we can just SSH into it. Right, and the password, let me just go back and get the server password. I need to save it somewhere. Okay. Okay, great. So then we are having SSL issues here. Oh, it's now been fixed. So the username, going to go with admin here and say next, and then of course the password that we created during installation is also right here. I'm just going to copy and paste it. Okay, and there you go. So this is the HestiaCP control panel. This is the dashboard. This is how it looks like. It comes in dark mode or in black, which is okay for some people. If you don't want to that dark mode, you can now go to settings, and I think you can now configure it. So let me see where we can do that from. Okay. Okay. Right. Basic options, theme dark mode. We can go with flat. Let's see if that works. Yeah. We can try another option, maybe another theme, maybe Hestia. I think I like that. Yeah, I tend to like this one because it kind of looks familiar with HestiaCP, which is what I actually used before. So, you know, familiarity. So anyway, this is the control panel here. This is the admin. And now you can start adding different users, and those users can add domains or websites to their account, right? It's really awesome. So domains, we basically have the default, which is panel.sidemonkey.com, and if you checked it out, it usually comes with a default landing page. We are working on it and so forth, right? Yeah, so you can now add a different domain if you want to run like a different server and all that. You can add it here, but it's telling us it's strongly advised to create a standard user account before adding a web domain to the server due to increased privileges to the admin account and so forth. So it's advising that you should always add a new user before you actually add a new website, which is very wise. Yes. So this, if you're familiar with HestiaCP, you should now find this interface very easy to navigate. You have users here where you can manage users. You have domains here where you can check out the domains that belong to a specific user. You have databases here where you can add databases, and you have PHP admin where you can log in to the web interface for managing MySQL or MariaDB databases. You have cron here for managing cron jobs, and backups here. So this automatically backs up your websites, I think 3 times a week or so. But you can configure it how often you want this to happen. It also comes with a file manager built in, so you can easily navigate your website folders and so forth. You can upload and all that through the web interface, or in so instead of using FTP, you can actually use the web file manager here. And then settings here. This is where you can see all the services that are running. You can restart, you can stop a specific service. So here we have Apache, cron, fail to ban, IP tables, MariaDB, PHP here, SSH, and so forth. So basically the things that we installed, they're right here. You have a task monitor here. So here you can check out how your server is performing. You can check out the server usage, SSH connections, and so forth. It's right here. I think this is package updates. Okay. Firewall, you can configure firewall rules here, which is good. I can check out logs. So in case you're having issues with the website or whatever, you can actually just check out server logs here, specifically, for example, Apache logs right here. So this is a very versatile, very robust web control panel that mirrors cPanel, for example, right? And it's free of charge. So it's really awesome. I use it to manage client websites, so it's really, really good. I like it so much. You have a place for managing SSH keys right here. And yeah, so what else do we have? Statistics. I think this is web stats for the different websites that you host. It's really awesome. So I think I'm going to add a new user here, and then we can install a specific website, and then we call it a day. So let's see, SiteMonkey. Let's try that. Contact David. David at SiteMonkey.com. The password can auto-generate for me, and I'll save it somewhere. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I do not allow user to log in. No, we need the user to log into the control panel. Yeah, I think this is fine. Awesome. Email login credentials too. This will not work because we don't have a mail server installed. So save this. So the user has been successfully created. So if I logged out of this control panel admin, and then I log in using this new user that I've just created, right? So this was SiteMonkey, and the password is right there. So let's log in now. So now I'm logging in as that particular user that I've just created. Notice that a lot of things are not here, specifically administration tasks. They cannot do that, right? So they only have access to their domains, their database, cron jobs, and backup, but they don't have the other access to very administrative features. So yeah, add a web domain. I think we can add that. Let me see, david.sitemonkey.com. Okay, let's say save. But of course, when I do this, I have to go to my registrar and add that as subdomain there. So let's do that real quick. I'm going to add David here, and he's going to point to that IP address of the server. Yeah. So one thing I like about name.com is that the DNS resolution time takes a very short time. Yeah. So for most DNS hosting providers, some of them, it could take 24 hours, 48 hours, and so forth. But with name.com, their name servers are super fast. They propagate across the internet real quick. So you can imagine I've just added this subdomain here, and I bet it's already available. Like, I can easily access it. So if I came and, for example, just did a ping, you can see it's already pointing to Vultr, right? So you definitely want to check out name.com. Yeah, I'll put a link in the description below for even a discount. Yes. Yeah. So when I come back to domains here, I should see david.sidemonkey.com, and of course it comes with a landing page here, right? Yeah, so that's as simple as it is, you know, hosting multiple websites. So of course I'm using a subdomain here because I don't want to register a domain for this tutorial here. I'm just going to be using subdomains for that. Right. So we should probably run like a WordPress website under this, and we see how it works. So for that, Hestia has you know, a tool that enables you to run WordPress installations out of the box really easy. So let's see. Yes, it must be under quick app installation right here. Yes, so let's get WordPress here. Okay, let's see, David SideMonkey blog. It's good. I don't know. Username Dave, maybe. David at sidemonkey.com here. Let's generate the password. So I'm going to just copy these details somewhere because I don't want to forget them. Okay. This is WordPress. Username Dave. The email is david@sidemonkey.com, and so these credentials, we shall use them to log into the WordPress dashboard, right? So yeah, installation directory, it's at the root, a PHP version 8.2, create a database. We can choose to create a database manually from here, or we can let it automatically create a database for us. I think this is a good option. Database name, you can define it here, or you can choose, let it create a database for you automatically. So let's leave that, right? So then after that, simply say save. Okay, so WordPress installation successful. That's so fast. So when we come to that, you can see the WordPress website is already installed. How simple and easy is this, right? And of course, you can install as many WordPress websites as you can, right? Or as many different CMS options as you can. As I think you saw the options here. You have DocuWiki, Dolibar. I'm not very sure what this. Drupal is a CMS. Flaram, I'm not sure what this is. Joomla is a CMS. Laravel is a PHP framework, yeah, similar to Django or Ruby on Rails. MediaWiki, I think this is a wiki for media files. Nextcloud, this is like a Dropbox of sorts that you self-host. OpenCart, this is like WooCommerce for e-commerce. If you want an e-commerce website, you can definitely use this. same as PrestaShop, I think. Symfony is a PHP-based web framework, and then ThursdayBiz, not sure, and of course WordPress. So you can choose for multiple quick app installations here that HestiaCP provides, right? If you don't want the manual installation. But of course, there's nothing that stops you from running these installations on your server. After all, you already have SSH access, right? Yes. Yeah, so let me see if I can log into the backend, WordPress backend. And yeah, these were the credentials. I saved them somewhere. So let's get them. Remember me. Okay, install. And there you go. It's actually loading the WordPress dashboard right here. Okay, and of course you can go ahead and you know, install a theme, and you have, you know, a website, just very simply like that. Let's see what happens. Your website your way. I think this must be free. Let's install it and see. Activate. Of course, when I activate it and go to david.sitemonkey.com, yeah, there you go. So it loads this very specific theme here that, you know, you can just go and customize the way that you want. And of course, you can also just build your own theme from the ground up if you choose to. But the thing to remember here is that you can install as many WordPress websites as your server can support. So for this particular instance that we have here, right, this is a one virtual CPU server with 1 GB of RAM, and you can probably do like 5 maximum, you know, very lightweight websites on this particular server. But if you know, want to run more WordPress or more websites, then you can easily just scale up or upgrade this server here. It's very easy to do that on Vultr, right? Yes. Awesome. So this is the end of our tutorial. I've just showed you how to install HestiaCP web panel on Vultr Compute, on Vultr Cloud. And yes, I'm going to provide a link in the description below for actually signing up to Vultr. It's an incredible cloud service provider, yes, that I've actually been using for a month. Previously, I've been using Linode, and actually I did a review of Linode. I recommend that you check it out. But Vultr is also very good. They have very competitive pricing and good performance as well. So I'm going to provide a link in the description below where you can actually sign up and spin up a server and run your HestiaCP instance and deploy as many websites as you wish. Okay, so thanks for watching. If you got to this point, and go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're interested in website tips, tricks, installation, and so forth. I also recommend that you visit sitemonkey.com. The number of tools that we have provided here, a lot of guides here that you can just go and check out. All of these are tools that you can use to manage your website. For example, a robots.txt tester. We have also a sitemap checker, broken links checker, on-page SEO checker, favicon checker, you know, domain checker, and so forth. So many things here that you can use, right? Yeah, so check it out. And in case you want some technical support, like for example, installing this server here, then yeah, we have packages for that. Most of them are one-time installation fees actually. Like this one, $29 only for website troubleshooting, SSL setup, and minor bug fixes. So go ahead and you know, just browse the website. Okay. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.